Welcome to Listen in 3D. This is episode number 40. I'm your boy Justin, aka Too Tall for You Fool.
And I'm Netta, aka Wondrous Net.
And together we're both Team 3D, the host of Listen in 3D, where we discuss, dissect, and debate the music and albums in the world of hip hop and other genres. If you like us, if you like our content, like, comment, and subscribe, and share it around also. If you want to help us out one step further, click on that notification bell. That way you know when all our videos go live. Just a reminder, we do typically go live on Wednesdays with new episodes. And the final Saturday of every month, unless it's 5 Wednesdays in a month. And also, just a reminder, we are on all major podcast platforms. So if you want to podcast a show, type in Listen in 3D. You'll be able to find us. You can find links to that all in the video description and our page description as well. So just a little bit of call to action stuff. So 40 episodes. Before we get into this, Netta, I got to ask you, do you feel more comfortable behind the mic? Are you nervous like you were 40 episodes ago? Or have you built up the confidence to be like, I could do this anytime, anywhere, any place?
I don't know about any time, anywhere, any place. I'm still very aware of the camera, but it's a lot easier than it was the first say 10 times around. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, you've definitely improved. You know, your mic is a lot better. People can hear you now.
Yeah, that always helps with a podcast.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so this album we're about to get into today, I would describe it as groundbreaking. Definitely breaking barriers. Would you agree or would you disagree?
Um, I haven't listened to enough hip hop to really be confident in my answer, but I think if a lot of the 80s albums were more like the Sugar Hill Gang or the other ones that we listened to, this definitely was a lot different. It had the rock and roll vibe to it was very different, but I don't know if were they the first to do that?
Uh, yeah, I think they were around before the BC Boys, so I believe so. Anyway, I
Yeah.
think by the title, people should know who we're talking about today. And 40 episodes, I think that kind of fits the group. So get into the facts. So who we discussing today?
So today we'll be discussing Run-D.M.C's Raising Hell. It was released May  15th, 1986. It was their third studio album. It was 3 times platinum. It peaked at number 1 on the R&B and hip hop album charts and number 3 on the Billboard Top 200. It had singles including My Adidas, Walk This Way, It's Tricky, and You Be Illin'. There were music videos for Walk This Way and It's Tricky, and they had one guest appearance, which was Aerosmith.
All right, thank you for that. All right, so Run DMC, they are the real pioneers of hip hop for the most part. I would say they definitely were the first to like kick down the doors. Few fun facts about them before I get into like their little bio, like I do every episode. If I can, oh, wrong page here. If I can get into um, like with their bio and all that stuff. Some fun facts about them. They were number one R&B charting a hip hop album, so that's cool. They were the second hip hop act to appear on American Bandstand. The Sugar Hill Gang was the first. The first hip hop act to chart in the top 40 of the Billboard 100. The first hip hop artist with a top 10 pop charting rap album. One of the first hip hop artists with a gold, platinum, and multi platinum albums. First hip hop act to appear on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That's a big that's a big one right there. One of the first hip hop acts to receive a Grammy nomination. They didn't win, but they were one of the first to receive a nomination. They were the first hip hop act to make a video appearance on MTV. They were also the first hip hop act to perform at a major arena. And people, if you're a hip hop fan in the mid '80s, let me tell you, they were selling out arenas all over the country. And well, two more facts here. Signed a major product endorsement deal with Adidas. And then the second hip hop act to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, with the first being Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. So they definitely have a big legacy. If I get into them now, so Run DMC consisted of three members: Joseph Simmons, younger brother of Def Jam record mogul Russell Simmons, Daryl McDaniels, also known as DMC, and then Jason Mizell, who we know better as Jam Master Jay. Jason Mizell, Jam Master Jay, may him rest in peace. Murdered about 22 years ago. Uh, the good news is, looks like the people who were responsible for his death were convicted. So hopefully his friends and family can find closure to that. Otherwise, great guy. Definitely he is missed among the hip hop world. Produced after Run DMC kind of went their separate ways. He was producing other acts such as Onyx and very young 50 Cent, believe it or not. So he was the first one to discover 50 Cent, who we've done on the show before. Aside from that, they hail from Queens, Hollis, Queens, New York. They formed in 1983. Had two previous albums with the release of Run DMC and one of my favorite records from them, The King of Rock, the year prior. So, this one, if they topped their previous album, they definitely did with this one. And, definitely a lot of good singles on here. It was very, very enjoyable for the most part. I enjoyed the album overall. I'll give you my recommendations at the end of this episode. But definitely, great group, and I recommend anyone who has not listened to them yet, young or old, definitely give them a listen. I think you'll be very pleased. So, Netta, do you have any ties to Run DMC growing up, or have you heard of them? I mean, I know you're wearing a T-shirt, but
No, I'll be honest. I bought this T-shirt at a point where I hadn't listened to any of their albums in total. But as far as the group, the first thing I think of when I think of them is just Adidas. Like I remember I did like an '80s party couple years ago, and that's the first thing I'm like, okay, I'll just get my Adidas jacket out. The other thing is I call them Rev Run, but
of course you would.
it's funny. A lot of the rap stars of yesterday are kind of the reality stars of today. So on episode 34, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back. I talked about how I first came in contact with Flavor Flav from Flavor of Love, and similarly, when I think of Run DMC, I think of Rev Run and his family, because he had his reality show from like the mid 2000s, Rev Run or Run's House.
Run's House.
And one of the most memorable moments for me on the show, because I found it to be very bizarre, was at the end he'd be like taking a bubble bath, reflecting on like what's happened that day, and typing notes in his BlackBerry, and he called them like Rev Run's words of wisdom. So that's really what I think about when I think about him. To a lesser extent, I think of like the brother Russell Simmons, and then Jam Master Jay. I heard a lot about him, like not a lot really, but I heard about him over the years, but never really knew too much about him.
Well, Jam Master Jay was their DJ, so pretty much the front men obviously were Run and DMC for the most part. For me, Run DMC. When I first started really listening to hip hop, I would, if I was lucky, watching MTV, I would be blessed to, watch one of their music videos. I think the first music video I saw from them was The King of Rock. Very good song, definitely, check that out on their YouTube channel. And, just Rock Box was, another one of my favorites from them. And I mean, I think people today just have the liberty, just to go on YouTube, watch any music video they want, whereas opposed to back then, you just had to be lucky if MTV was playing like, music videos or whatnot. So, yeah, that was real, like my real first exposure to Run DMC because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, by the mid to late '90s, they weren't really being played a whole lot on the radio, at least in LA. I mean, every now and then, if they had like the old school show on Sunday nights or whatever, if they came on, I'd catch them, here and there. But for the most part, just I would say they're like one of the first hip hop group I really got exposed to by just watching more on TV as opposed to listening to them on the radio. I would say so. I mean, and not just their music videos, just performances, things of that nature. I did get their greatest hits during like my early college years. Very, very enjoyable, definitely. I mean, if you want to get Run-D.M.C at their best, definitely check out that. And but yeah, I mean, for the most part, that would be my real exposure to them, and just really just more watching their music videos than listening to them on the radio. So be so that'd be very honest with you about that there. So those are my memories. All right, so let's get into the album artwork. Any thoughts on that?
Um, I feel like the artwork was pretty muted for such a bombastic title, "Raising Hell," but it's just like them just kind of standing there. You'd think they'd be like kind of going nuts, but the only thing kind of edgy about it is the colors. So overall, I didn't really like the album cover. What did you think?
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of just chilling. Could have went with a maybe a different title name for that. Yeah, you think of a name Raising Hell, it's like you think of something a little more, maybe not drastic, but a little more, something a little more edgier, I guess. But
Yeah,
it,
they
it
could
was
have
it
they could
was
have had a
okay.
guitar on there or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest. All right, beats, and Rick Rubin was behind a lot of the production for this album for the most part. So what you got for beats?
Yeah, I did enjoy a lot of the beats on here. I liked for four of them. Peter Piper. I liked like the xylophone. Dun, 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 dun. I like
Oh yeah,
that,
that was a
and
good
then
one.
I liked Hit It Run with the beatboxing. I
Hmm.
really liked that one. I like Walk This Way, but my very favorite one was Raising Hell. I really love the guitar solo on there.
Yeah, Raising Hell was probably my favorite beat on there. The guitars, that was pretty cool. Walk This Way was also another good beat also. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
I
would
put
probably be
that as
runner up.
my runner
Yeah.
up. Yep.
All right, so we're definitely in the same category there. All right, so we're gonna discuss three of the top singles: "My Adidas," "Walk This Way," and "It's Tricky." Why don't we go with one of your hobbies? I know you're a shoe collector on the side, or something of that nature. My Adidas. I'll let you kick this one off. What do you got for My Adidas?
Lyrically, I really like how he's kind of telling his own story by telling everywhere his shoes has been. He says he's standing on 25th Street in New York, and
Hmm.
at the beginning he says, "My Adidas walk through concert doors and roam all over Coliseum floors,"
Hmm.
and he also said, "My Adidas touched the sand of a foreign land." And I really like that. He's talking about the shoes, but he's also just talking about himself too. Um, they mentioned in there like we wear our shoes without the laces, and I just kept on wondering, especially when we were watching the videos. I'm like, how are they doing that? Because I feel like my foot would be falling out of the shoes every time I did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good song and an excellent way to like get Adidas' attention.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely, well, they had a sponsorship with Adidas, so I mean, they did. I think they did a lot for the brand, and one thing I will say though is I don't know how they did it with no shoelaces. Just wearing them Adidas shoes, and because I know for me, I have big feet. I know I'd be tripping pretty easily. I mean, they're not like slip on like Vans or anything like that. So, but
Yeah.
definitely lyrically a pretty good song for the most part. I don't think anything really pointed out at me. Like my favorite part of the song. They're just talking about my Adidas. Personally, I mean, I'm not trying to be a hater or anything. I don't really like Adidas that much. How about how about you?
They're I don't hate them. I don't I've had Adidas shoes before. I don't hate them, but they're definitely in my eyes like a runner up, like with Nike. Partially because Adidas did secure their uh you know Run-D.M.C going around advertising on behalf of them. I think that after they made this song, they went on a massive campaign to
Yeah,
get Adidas attention, and
yeah.
they went to the concert, invited an Adidas executive to the concert, and had all the fans pulling off their Adidas shoes and holding them up. I saw another video where the group is just sitting on a couch and they make a rap about Adidas, and
Mm.
then at the end they're like, "Give us $1 million, Adidas," and that does actually end up being how much Adidas paid. They give them $1 million deal. It's the first major sports brand to partner with hip hop artists. Adidas really did fumble the bag like a few
Yeah,
years prior with Michael Jordan. They
yeah,
passed on him, and so
yeah,
I guess they kind of made up for it because this was pretty historic.
yeah. It was. I mean, and you can also, they definitely were pioneers not only in the music but in the shoes also. I
Yeah.
mean, yes. I mean, you wouldn't have had songs later on like Air Force Ones from Nelly or that Van song. I forget who sings it, but yeah, just but you get what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just proof that hey, hip hop, hey, you can get a shoe endorsement if you're rapping about the shoes, and people love their shoes. I mean, there are a lot of hardcore shoe collectors out there, including you. So
And even Beyonce would go on. A few years ago, she had a deal with Adidas. I don't know if she still does, but a lot of really big names
yeah,
kind of followed in their footsteps with that. So really, really impressive for them to even go after that with everybody at the time being athletes who were
yeah,
getting deals. But they really they went all in and it
yeah,
worked.
yeah, that definitely did work. So props to them and doing that. All right, so we're going into the next one. It's tricky. I do love how the song starts. I mean, it's not my favorite Run DMC song, but a lot of people love it. I mean, maybe you can give me some insight on it in a minute. And then, let's see, uh, verse one starts. I met this little girlie. Her hair was kind of curly. Went to her house and bust her out. I had to leave it real early. And then, and then it's tricky to rock a rhyme. It's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky. Yeah, I mean, it's 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 a catchy song. I mean, like I said, not one of my favorites, but it's a good song though. I mean, I do like the chorus. It's tricky to rock a rhyme, and that definitely. I think their wordplay is really good here in terms of just how they're flowing on this song. Maybe you can give me some insight on why people love it.
Well, I liked it. I did think it was probably my least favorite single, but I
Hmm.
actually really liked it. It was actually really good, and it's because they were kind of describing how it's tricky to make their raps, like it's tricky to rock a rhyme, but in during the verses they're talking about how tricky it is to be stars in the music videos because they're always being harassed. People are harassing their family. They say they even bother my poor father because he's down with me.
Hmm.
And they're talking about how it feels to be constantly criticized in the public eye, always tearing what I'm wearing. I think they're going too far. So I liked it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thoughts on the music video?
Yeah, I thought it was very well done. I really liked it. It was the cinematography was really good. I would compare it even to like a film of that time, like Coming to America or something. It looked
Yeah,
like filmish, way more than any other video we've seen from that
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I liked it.
yeah, definitely. I think. Well, it's Def Jam, so I'm pretty sure like even their older videos, I'm sure it's been like re-edited for it to look pretty good today. And some of the videos we've seen is some of them are brutal to look at sometimes in terms of like their their qualities.
Pure ass.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, this was this was actually really good. And even if you look at some of their older videos too, you'll be like, wow, yeah, this is pretty good. So yeah, very good video. I thought it was kind of funny, with the three card
The
Molly.
scammers.
Yeah. And then the end of the video, they're like, Run-D.M.C is already here. That I thought was
Oh yeah,
funny.
yeah, that was really funny. All the Japanese fans are like, ah, and it's the two scammers on stage.
Yeah. I think of all the videos I've seen from Run-D.M.C, that definitely was their funniest in my opinion. But
I think I like this next one a little better.
yeah, they're funny. Yeah, well maybe. I said funniest. I didn't say it was their best, but all right. So yeah, next time we're going to talk about uh, "Walk This Way." I think definitely it may not have to be your favorite song, but in terms of like if you're thinking of important songs in all of all of hip hop, maybe even all of music, or at least a rock and rap anyway. This definitely has to be up there on a lot of people's lists, at least top five, I would say, in terms of importance of what it did for, not only the culture of hip hop, but all parties involved, even Aerosmith. We'll get into that later, but yeah, so yeah, Walk This Way, that definitely, great song, and just a great vision. And I will say you definitely know you've made it if it's playing on not only major hip hop stations but major rock stations as well. So if you don't know, this is a cover of the original version of Walk This Way from the band Aerosmith. It was made in the mid 70s. I'm not sure if you've heard the original or not. I've heard it pretty frequently. And then they redid the song. Just a little story behind it. Run DMC, they initially didn't want to do the song. I think the only person open to it was Jam Master Jay, believe it or not. And then somehow, Rick Rubin got the two Aerosmith members, Joe Perry and Steven Tyler. Yeah, I believe that's their names. Yeah, to go into the studio, re-record their parts, and at first they didn't want to do it. Then they were going to try to do it like the way Steven Tyler did it back, in the mid 70s. And after that, Jam Master Jay just convinced them to just rap your part just like a natural rap flow, and they did, and for the most part they made it work, and I think even with the parts Steven Tyler re-recorded for his song from on his part, I think it does sound better than the original version. Now I have a question. Have you heard the original version of Walk This Way?
I think I have only heard this version.
Okay. Yeah, definitely listen to it whenever you get a chance, and you'll see like some of the differences of what I'm talking about. But they definitely kill it, and definitely the music video I think was definitely one of its kind too. Definitely the worlds of rock meeting the worlds of rap. I thought it was pretty cool, and that definitely Run DMC sharing the fan base with Aerosmith, and if anything, it did a lot for hip hop in terms of just getting it more in the suburban homes and just people all over the world just embracing the culture. And it was a comeback for Aerosmith too, because Aerosmith was not doing very well at the time if you read about them. So yeah, they Aerosmith went on to win a lot of awards after this song. But by the mid 80s, a lot of people didn't know who Aerosmith was, and Run DMC didn't even know who Aerosmith was. So I mean, great song. So enough with the history behind the track. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that fusion of two, seemingly different sounds coming together. It really sounded good, even on the video when they're performing together.
Mm,
It was really good. I agree with you. Like you could feel like those two different um vibes coming together in a really good way. Some people can't really do it that well when they try to just mash up something together, but they
yeah,
they did it really really well. I liked it.
yeah, definitely. I like how they start the first verse. Now there's a backseat lover that's always undercover, and I taught them how daddy said you ain't nothing see said you ain't seeing nothing. till you're down on her muffin, and there's sure to be a change in ways. So yeah, so yeah, fumbled over my words there, but yeah, definitely I like how they went with like the fast rap there, and then they pretty much wrapped it together, which I thought was pretty cool. And then the chorus, she told me to walk this way, talk this way. Well, just give me a kiss. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like Aerosmith's voice. It's like I don't know, it's almost like screaming, but also singing. It's like, "Wow, this what?" It's very good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, then you might want to hear the original version of the song. But
And
yeah,
I'm not sure. Does the is the original version the same as this chorus, or is it different?
I believe the original version is just "Walk This Way" instead of saying "Talk This Way." I think Steven Tyler just says "Walk this way, walk this way."
Uh,
After we go off here, I'll let just go ahead and listen to it, and then just tell me what you think. Should have sent it to you when we were doing pre-show notes, but I figured you'd already listened to it, so that's my bad. But for the most part, yeah, great song, and I couldn't think of any other better collaboration between the worlds of rock and the worlds of rap to combine and just make it happen. Props to Rick Rubin for making it happen. Definitely a great producer and one of the one behind the rap rock beats that you hear on this album, BC Boys, and even the previous album we did, Jay-Z's 99 Problems. He produced that one, so definitely a great guy, great genius. So,
yeah.
any other thoughts on Walk This Way?
Just that I thought this music video, I really liked the music video. I like when they're both singing on either side of the wall, and then the Aerosmith is just about to sing, and then they
Oh yeah,
start
that was
rapping, and then
funny. That was cool.
he gets pissed off and starts throwing stuff at the wall. Then he breaks open the wall with his mic stand, and then he busts through the
Yeah, that
pole. And
was
it's like, walk this way. That was really good. I really like that.
yeah, it was a great music video. Probably definitely the best music video between the two. Um, all right, so we're at the part of the show where we go into our favorites. So, what do you got for your favorites? What are your top three?
Um, I'm gonna go with Raising Hell, Walk This Way, and My Adidas.
We were very close. Well, yeah, Walk This Way, Raising Hell, and You Be Illin.
Okay.
We were very close. So yeah, You Be Illin. You went with the other single, My Adidas. That's okay. So yeah, well, You Be Illin was a single, but like I've said before in the past, we're only doing the top three singles just to cut it down with time and all that stuff. So, but I mean, I always seem to like the other singles that we don't discuss if it has more than three. I've noticed. All right, so You Be Illin. Let me get into this one. It's a pretty interesting song. I mean, just like just things that just don't match. Like the first verse talking about going to Kentucky Fried Chicken and ordering small fries and a Big Mac. I mean, who does that? Or going to a basketball game and the ball goes through the hoop and you scream touchdown. Who does that? Like, I thought the song was funny. I mean, it had a pretty interesting beat too. I like that like jazzy beat. Also, it was pretty funny song for the most part. Like, who have you ever gone to like a? I gotta ask, have you ever gone to a fast food place and ordered something that you know is not on their menu? I mean,
Absolutely not.
go to a Burger King and order a Big Mac or
I've never done that. It's kind of like the menu is staring you right there in your face, but I guess not when you're illin. You can't help it.
you got any thoughts on You Be Illin?
Yeah, I liked it too. I liked how they were just saying crazy stuff. In the third verse, they were saying, "Oh, when your breath is stinking and you're all up in a girl's face," and
Oh
in
boy.
the last one, they're saying, you ate a can of dog food." So all of these are circumstances in which you be illin. I don't. I guess is illin just tripping or just
Yeah.
like I don't know on drugs or what? I don't know. I can't tell what illin
No,
is.
illin. The slang term illin means to be uncool and unrelaxed, be acting crazy, be tripping or bugging, or be acting whack. So that's pretty much what the song describes. Just you
Oh,
know,
okay.
uh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just pretty much being oblivious, I guess. Pretty interesting song, but I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I guess one of the last songs we both liked, "Raising Hell." I'll let you start this one off.
Yeah, I thought it was very poetic. In the first verse, he says, "Heard in the heavens are the sounds supreme, so clear to the ear it is sometimes seen." And it made me think about like animals. It's either dolphins or octopi who actually are able to see with their ears. So I thought that was very cool. They feel like their sound is so crystal clear that you can see it. And then I liked when he said, uh, "There's no fearing when hearing sound of this kind across the land. Every mind is going every across the land. Every mind is going. Oh, every man is going out of his mind." I like that they feel like their music is just driving people nuts, and I just liked that how very rock and roll it was, and I
Yeah,
like that the guitar solo. I thought it was
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Definitely the guitar solo. The beat kind of did it for me, but also lyrically too. I like the when they're rapping together in the second part of the first verse. Dissing all devils, cause havoc in hell at a very high level. Bass and treble shall yell. I thought that was pretty cool. Heard in the heavens are the sounds supreme, so clear to the ear. It is sometimes seen so loud like a cloud with thunder and lightning, so proud to the crowd. It is somewhat frightening. Yeah, so I mean, I thought that part went hard. So that's what did it, lyrically for me there. And then definitely them going back and forth. I mean, it was definitely a great duet between Run and DMC like that. So definitely, it's a song I'd recommend if you're going to listen to this album, "Raising Hell," the title track. Too bad it wasn't a single, but definitely one of their more popular songs. So,
Yeah, very good.
and then let's see, another song I wanted to shout out to, "Proud to Be Black." I thought that was a pretty good song too. It was an honorable mention, so definitely check that one out as well. And then if there was any song that I didn't really care for too much, it was. I mean, it was a really good album. So, but if I were to rank one song last, it would have to be maybe "Perfection." I didn't like that song too much.
That's the exact one I have. That's the exact one I didn't like the chorus.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah, it was pretty forgettable song to me. Yeah, I didn't like "Perfection" that much. So, so yeah, we pretty much had similar picks. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah. All right. So for album cuts and expansions, there is an expanded edition. For the most part, me personally, I did not get a chance to listen to it, but there's a acapella of My Adidas, the Walk This Way demo, Lord of Lyrics, Raising Hell radio tour spot, and then live at the Apollo Raw vocal commercial. So it is available on Spotify. I'm pretty sure Apple Music as well. If you want to listen to the expanded version with um, the 5 additional tracks. So definitely check that out. And now we get into recommendations. And this was kind of tough, but I mean, I think definitely anyone popular during that time, definitely check them out. But I think I'd be doing myself a disservice if I did not mention the Beastie Boys. We did them several episodes back now, Licensed to Ill. Definitely check out that. I can link in the description if y'all want to listen to that episode. LL Cool J's Bigger and Deffer. I know we haven't done LL Cool J yet, but he's coming soon, folks. So just be patient. And then the last but not least, Houdini, Back in Black. And there was actually a Houdini poster in Walk This Way video. I don't know if you noticed or not, but at the beginning, like when
I
they're in there,
didn't.
yeah. So Houdini was a very big rap act at the time, and we will do them also. They were pretty. They're another '80s rap group that I think you'll like them. I never threw you in the wrong way of bad music. At least I don't think I would. So so definitely check out Houdini Back in Black. Very good album. That's one of my favorites from the '80s. All right. So got any closing thoughts on this album, Raising Hell? Did it raise enough hell? What do you think?
I think the song "Raising Hell" raised enough hell for me. That's the one I would take back to my playlist. I think I typically find it harder to connect with like the older '80s rap.
Mm,
Just kind of takes a little more brain power for me, just because it doesn't feel familiar. But I liked it. I found them kind of poetic. They were, breaking their own barriers, so it was pretty cool.
yeah, for me, I mean, I listen to It's Tricky Enough, so I probably wouldn't take that one back. My Adidas, good song, but just it's all right. Definitely Walk This Way is definitely on my playlist. Raising Hell is on there as well. Probably if You Be Illin isn't on there, I'd definitely take that back also. You Be Illin, I thought was a sick song. And probably my other honorable mention, Proud to Be Black. I thought that was a really good song too. So that's so definitely there's enough Run DMC, in my rotation. So definitely can't go wrong with those guys. All right, last but not least, would you recommend?
Um, yes, I think I would recommend it. Yeah.
All right,
I think it was a lot like to me it was kind of like a better version of what the License to Ill.
with the BC Boy, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that would have came
yeah,
out six months after
yeah.
this one, but I think this one I like this one better.
Yeah, I think this is not yeah I think they're a step above the Beastie Boys when it came to their music and all that stuff. Not to take anything away from those guys, but they I think Run DMC they were the shit back then. So all right, folks. So let us know your favorites. If you have any thoughts, leave it for us all in the comments. For Netta, aka Wondrous Net, I'm Justin, Too Tall for You Fool, saying thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see you on the next one. Later.